pop over to the other side and I'll close this out. And I'm gonna find out what the hell's going on with this. Stop streaming, close it out. Yes, I wanna stop. I'm gonna change the, hold on, stop streaming. I'm actually, you know what, I swear I'm gonna do it. Every time I try to find out, they say which one's the best, like, streaming software to use, and they keep going back to this one, and, but I haven't had a great experience with this thing, I'll be honest with you. It's so touch and go. It's ridiculous. All right, let's see. You know, it's funny. You know how everything is for the good, right? Everything is for the good. You have to see it that way, because something negative happens, right? And it propels you to the next thing. And so, like, for example, I'll give you an example. My son, right? He runs in college. Actually, he has a fundraiser. I'm supposed to put the link up. And but when he wants to, the kind of work you want to get into is okay. So you have the doctor, you have the injury, right? You have the doctor, you have the rehab people to get them back online, but then you have the people that are making prosthetics or things that will allow that person to be functional again, right? Whether it's hand, whether it's a pacemaker, whether it's whatever it is. And he want to be in that cut right there, okay? I have a friend that he makes, what do you call it? Shoes, orthopedic shoes. So he has a business in New Jersey, and he talked to my son about the many avenues in that area. Okay, there's a lot of opportunities within that to get a person from here to there. And because he runs, so he's gotten injured, he's gotten this injury, he's got that now. And I'm thinking to myself, I said, it's crazy. As upset as Emmanuel will get, he had a hamstring injury, he had a growth bone injury that his muscles was pulling too hard at the new bone that was growing. And I say it's amazing though that's going to actually serve him. Okay, it can be something that will mess him up mentally. Oh man, I can't believe I was right there. I was that close to being, the star pick for that school or whatever. And okay, you can hold on to that, or it can serve you, right? So all of these things here with my streaming software, it's gonna serve me. I'm gonna find a way for this thing to serve me. I guarantee you. Okay, you just wait and see. It's gonna serve me, man. Oh my gosh, bro. It's oh. All right, hold on. Let me open up again. Let me see who's here. Brianna's back. All right, better. Oh. Golly. All right. We lost Rudy. Okay, so yesterday, when I was ICT car guy will pop it back in because he told me to order something, just like you, Brianna. You told me to order something, and I took your word for it. I'm actually enjoying the product. I'm using it, guys. I don't have the affiliate link up, but Brianne told me to order the pink stuff, and she said, Wayne, you won't regret it, and I did. All right, I did. Took Brianne's word for it. I ordered the pink stuff, and I use it on the base kind of plastic stuff. I use this for the other things, but I use it for the kind of plastic when I want to kind of, not the shiny, glossy stuff, just the base plastic stuff. So this works like a charm. So I said, man, look, I keep using my screwdriver is my trusty do-it-all tool. And he says, man, you need to get like a radiator kit, something like that. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. So I was hoping he was here today. You love the pink stuff? I was hoping he was here today because I got my kit. right? But I see what he was talking about with these, and this is actually going to be come in handy for my 3D printing stuff. Brian, take a look at this. I'm having so much fun with this little printer, man. Look at what I made. I've been having a blast with the 3D printer, okay? I've been having a blast with it. Oh, listen, this is my favorite video game. Now I'm gonna have to get the different colors, but I wanted to get. The reason I got black was because most vacuum parts are black. You know, so if I needed a handle or something, and I figured out how to do the 3D rendition of something that so I could scan it. So I really don't have to scan it per se. I need to know a few things like the measurements and etc. But I can use AI to help me out with some of that stuff. Okay, so that's I'm gonna give it a try. Anyway, but I've been having a blast. I know, sweet, right? I've been having a blast with this stuff, man. Listen, you know I love artwork, right? And I'm just dying to put some of my artwork into a 3D model. Okay, I'm probably gonna end up just selling them right in the store. Man, listen. You turned me on to this thing. This is the coolest thing. This is so cool. Look. I don't know how long. How long has 3D printing been out? Where's my? Where can I find that information? Because this is like space. To me, this is like space age stuff. I'll be honest with you, based on the way I used to think back then, right? But I do have a riddle for you. I have a riddle for you. Hold on. I have a riddle for you. Give me a second. I have one. I'm gonna go look it up though. All right, here. I got one for you here. Boom, throw it in there. Bam! Send. All right, let me see. How long? Let's see. 40 years. Wow. Are you kidding me? Since 1981 to 84, the idea of 3D printing appeared. So that the idea was out there, right? 1986, the first real 3D printer was patented. Okay. It was called a stereolithograph. Oh, it was using stereolithography, right? Let me see, 1990, exclusively by big machines, right? Aerospace, automotive, medical field, etc. All right, they made it for prototypes, very expensive. 2000s, price dropped slowly. You see 2015, desktop resolution. All right, so 2010s to 2015, they started. Because I remember my brother had one early. My brother had a 3D printer. I think he bought his for about close to $2,000. He ended up selling it. I don't think he figured out what to do with it. But he had one for a long time ago. I remember him having one. Big guy. But I never really thought about it much until recently. I started seeing parts not being available, which leads us into our clinic today. So I want to check out what someone asked me a question yesterday. Someone asked me a question yesterday, and I wanted to explore it. I didn't have it in front of me, so I wasn't able to even give any good information on this thing. But it was about, they were looking for the pump for the Bissell Revolution steam. And I said, wait a second, I don't recall. They don't have a pump on sale for these things. Okay? They have, I think you can buy the gosh, man, see, I can't even share anything with you guys right now because I'm using this phone here. You can buy the tank, you can buy the brushes, okay? I believe you can buy the handle. You can buy the belt, but the rest of it is not for sale, okay? So people would have to be selling pieces online, right? And So I wanted to see if anything was was already out there that the person could have used as a, you know, kind of a filler. And now that I'm looking at it, all right, let's bring this closer. Unfortunately, I don't see this pump. I don't see it. Let me show you. Like, this is a Bissell Big Green machine pump. All right, Big Green machine. Right. You get 10 points. I thought it was gonna be kind of like, you know, let me make it a little bit, you know. So yeah. So the question is, I dance on the edge of nothing. I'm strongest when I'm starving. I vanish when I'm smothered. You know, the word smothered is what I think shouldn't have been there. I vanish maybe when I'm covered. Maybe, or something else. That probably would have made it a little bit, you know. What do you think? Because I had another one, right? But it, how's this one? I had another one. This was too easy, right? I don't have lungs. I don't need air. I don't have a mouth, but water can kill me. You know, that one is so easy, right? And I didn't want to insult your intelligence. I had to push you to the edge, and but the smothered part is a little, yeah, that was a bit much. All right, I'm coming better next time. So, what parts are the same? Well, the Bissell Revolution belt, flat belt, is the same for this as it is for the steam. The jack shaft is the same. Okay, all right. The this here, which is hard to find because again they don't sell this. If you buy this, you're gonna get the jack shaft by itself. You're not gonna get the coupler. Okay, so this is a valued little piece of part for this machine here because these are not sold. And if I can get this printed, I would. I'll look into that. Okay, because it comes in plastic also, like a Lexan material, not just metal like this. But this is probably the best setup, and it doesn't look like it gets rusted. Okay, all right. What else? What's similar to what we know? Well, these solenoids are the same. Okay. This is a solenoid that you would use in the portable Bissell lift-offs. Same solenoid. Okay. You can use this same solenoid. I think the only thing it doesn't have is just the spot for the ground, which is really just the ground. So, if you use your head on it, you know what I mean. That's so the part that's really important for the Bissell 2X old school is just these two pieces right here, and this could probably just sit right in there without being touched because there's not a ground wire that's aiming for this part. All right, so you just have these two. So this can be used in the 2X. This can be used in the lift-offs, Premier, and it's not the Essential. I don't think the Essential uses it. Okay, so, the solenoid for the Big Green machine is different, so you can't use this for the Big Green machine. It's a different solenoid altogether, but the solenoids are the same, okay, if you notice. All right, what else? What else is the same? I believe the actual brushes themselves, not the brush setup. The setup is a different setup. I moved it. But the actual bristles, I think those are the same size. Okay? So if you have to swap out, if you're stuck and you can't find it, I'm looking around to see if I think I had it on the wall at one time. What else is the same? Okay. Now, this is what I want to check for. I want to check for this little piece right here. Okay? That the hose is going to plug into, See this? Let's take this off. The piece that the hose is going to plug into when you put the hose on. Let's see if I can use my new toy. Okay, my husband. Yeah. Oh yeah, he got that one. That's great. He's on his way out the door. Man. That's cool. No, man, tell him big up, man. That's all right. I'm glad that he got it. Okay, so take a look. All right. So this might be the same. Let me show you. All right. Okay, so this is the pump. Now the pump number is 1609212. Now we have that number in our what do you call it? Our website. Can't get the word out. I can't get the word out. Oh my gosh. I saw Brian. I saw a picture of, not a picture, but a video of Russia's snow. I hope it's not AI because they sold me on that one. I was like, holy cow, are you serious? I'm here complaining about the little little cold weather we have down here, because it's normally the way the South messes you up, right? Is that the morning would get real cold, like the same as if you were in New York, right? Cold like that, right? And then it just wrapped, by 12 o'clock it's back to 59, 67, whatever. And then at night it gets cold again. So it kind of screw you up a little bit with that, right? You dress warm for the day, and then you see guys outside with t-shirts and shorts. So I'm still not a cold, faring person. But then, so when I saw the Russians, I was like, damn, golly, man, you guys, I can see why you guys are so tough, man. Damn. Oh my gosh, like the buildings were covered in snow, So I'm like, man, is this for real? Oh my gosh, I don't even have my tablet. I was prepared to share on the screen and everything. Let me see if I can find it. If I can find it, I'm gonna let you guys see it, man, because I'll turn the camera. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna turn the camera. I'm gonna turn the camera around. So you can see what I'm talking about, right? Hold on. I have to look at it at the same time to see. Take a look. Take a look at what I'm talking about. And tell me if you don't think this is ridiculous. All right, hold on. It's only 24 seconds. Let's see. You see that? No, that can't be real, right? Is that AI? Is that AI? Holy crap. No, right? Nah, man. Nah, right? I've never been in an environment like that, so I have no clue. I've had my car covered in snow, right? The people upstate, I've seen their homes covered in snow where they open the door and they can put like refrigerator. You ever see that stuff? They put refrigerators in there. But that, nah, bro, that's too much. Nah, man. But still, it's enough to make me appreciate where I'm at. How's that? So the moment I start complaining, I just think about that. I'm like, yeah, that's a bit too much. That's just no. I don't think so. Yeah. That's a bit too much. But still, it's a great visual for me to appreciate what I got. That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm using it for. But anyway, let's take a look at this. All right, so I'm gonna take this for. What was I looking for? I was looking for my website. Let me pull up this number here. Let me see something real quick. 1609212. Enter. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to. How do I do this? let's put it in the chat, just in case someone is actually really seriously looking for this part. This is a pump. P space Control V, right? Enter. Okay. All right, and then I'm gonna put it into the description, and because you know this stuff disappears right after that. Okay, and also what did Sam send me? She told me to send her. The club. Yeah, the distance. These guys having their fundraiser. I'm just gonna drop it in the description, man. You know, I could tell my son, hey, man, I put it out there for you. All right, UNC fundraiser for the Tar Heels. All right, it's in the description. All right, so now let's take a look. Okay. All right. Okay. This is the same. All right. We don't even need. Well, I do see. I see one difference. I see one difference in the original than this. If you notice, look. I do see a difference. It is a difference. There is a difference. Now, whether it will fit or not is another story. The original, not the original, but the one for the regular Bissell Revolution, if you notice, it's a little thicker. It's a little thicker here. It's thicker here. Right? And it has a little edge here. Now, do I think that's going to affect it much? Someone, if they're smart and sharp and they got a Dremel, they can make it work. Because this is, again, this is not for sale. But the difference is just, in other words, the hose will fit the same in the hole. Okay? The hose will fit the same. It's just this little, at the bottom here, and this little tab right here is probably for, you know, to kind of hold something down. So this is probably, the water is not flowing here. The water flows from here to here, and that's really it. And that's the same here. The water flows from here to here. All that stuff is extra. This is just for the screw and all that. Okay, so there is a similarity here. But now, as for the pump itself, no. This pump is way different. Now, maybe this is similar. If you notice, the face of the pump is similar. Okay? The face is similar, but the body is way different. So it looked like they repurposed this. They kept this here, and they kept that there. So that's the same. You see that? So it's I don't know. You know? Let me open up this pump here real quick. Let me see something. What could go wrong, right? What could go wrong if a person is saying my pump is messed up, right? Because really, the only thing that you're really focusing is, right, this you want this to be turning. Because this turns the coupler, right? And the belt, well, how's this? My bad, I said it wrong. The belt turns this, right? This turns the brush. It has a double function, right? And then while it's turning, it's turning the coupler. The coupler is turning this here, and then it's moving the water out. Okay, right? So if that's the function, you see how that just came out? This could be broken. Okay, that could be something that's broken in yours. It's possible. Let's see how far inside I can go in this, because it may be something else. You know, in other words, like yes, possible it's the pump, but it may be something else that's interacting with the pump, or you can siphon a part off of something else to make it work, being that it's not available. Okay, that's kind of where my brain is on this one. So let's examine this for a second. Let me see how far I can go. All right. Let's see if I can go far. All right. This is gonna be, we're gonna be in and out, guys. I even set a timer for myself to go off, so I don't run too long. All right. Let's see. Let me get a little screwdriver, and let's see what it looks like on the inside of this thing. Okay. Let's see how far in that can go. You know what? I want you to see it better. Let's use this white tape, this top right here. So we can take this off. Let's see what we got, man. So, okay. So the other day, someone was trying to be smart, and they got into the chat, and they were saying something about this is a safe space, right? And I said, no, there's no such thing as a safe space. And what I meant was, there's no room you're going to go into in the world where you don't risk being insulted because someone said something that you don't like or something. So that's what I mean by safe space. But for the most part, you want your home to be a safe space from injury, right? But your home is not safe from your mom telling you something that you don't like, or your husband or your wife telling you something that you don't like. So when I say safe space, that's what I'm talking about. There's no thing safe space. If that's the case, people are not being truthful. So they hold something, not tell you something because they don't want to insult your feelings or some nonsense like that. And some people need to hear the hard truth, of things. All right, so take a look at this. And I'm going to tell you why I even mentioned that in the first place. Okay, so this is all this is. Look like you have a bearing of sorts on the inside. And this rod here, okay, is really just there, almost like a key. Yeah, if you ever installed a lock and you put the thing in the key and you tighten it it holds both sides of the lock in the door. That's what this feels like to me. All right. So it doesn't feel like if it's pulled out of here, it'll ruin anything. Okay. And then it inserts into here. Okay. The half moon is the same way. See that? Okay. So what can go wrong here? All right. We'll see. Let's see. So far, so good, right? No big deal, right? Okay. So let's go to the back of this and see if we'll be able to see what's behind this. What am I doing this for? To try to see what is the possibility of this thing actually being broken, right? And if it is broken, where would it be broken at? Okay? Does that make sense? I hate the idea of hurting someone, but trying to tippy-toe around is not, to not offend or upset someone is exhausting. Yeah, and honestly, you know what? To piggyback on that, it doesn't help them. It doesn't help them. Not telling someone, one, you're being dishonest. Okay? You're being dishonest. If I'm talking to you, we're talking and we're really friends, you should be able to tell me the hard truth. Right? Like, hey, do I look, I understand this thing about girlfriends and boyfriends and wives, husband and wives. Do I look fat in this dress? I get that. But I'm talking like the real truth. Okay? About something. And if we're friends, I prefer you tell me the truth. Okay? And I don't want you to insult me by tippy-toeing around my feelings. I'm a big boy, right? So tell me what happened, right? Right? Is my hair, can you see a little, can you see the gray? Don't lie to me. Don't tell me. No, I don't see it. You know what I mean? And then you tell me that, Wayne, what you did, man, you were right, Wayne. And then you tell somebody else that you think I was wrong. And the only reason you told me that I was right is because you didn't want to hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? So you're not helping. You're not helping people when you do that. That's all I'm saying. You're hurting them. You're hurting them more than you're helping them. Okay? And so you don't have to be a nasty person. You don't have to be, intentionally trying to insult somebody. But at the same time, you're not helping them. It's exhausting for us to be tippy-toeing around, but you're also not helping them by telling them a lie to make them feel good. Okay? That's what I meant. But the reason I brought that up is because I saw the video with the church thing, and the people went inside the church, and people are trying to worship in the church, and then they're there yelling, ah! And I was like, dude, what the hell are you doing? What are people doing? How far are you gonna go, man? This is not like they were outside the church, right? I could probably even give them I could probably forgive them if you're outside the church and there were a couple of people in the crowd, you know. Think about all the Frankenstein movies you ever seen with the torch, and they're going up to Frankenstein, ah, and everybody's like, ah, and then there's always one guy, and then he'll throw the flame at the door, right? And he sparked it, and the people are just there in the crowd. You got that whole crowd mentality, and then they're like, yeah, and they start storming the castle. You know, I understand that psychology, right? So I know that all you need is plant a couple of people in a crowd, and they'll egg it on, and bam, it's off. Forget it. They did it during the BLM riots, and they did it during, in my opinion, during the January 6th thing. They're doing it in Minneapolis. They did it in Los Angeles. It's just crowd control thing. It's a manipulation. People, that's just the way humans behave, right? So if they were outside the church, and then someone started doing some dumb shit, and they start throwing stuff at it, and they start storming the church, and people just like, and the people being pushed in, it's like, okay, yeah! You know? But these guys planned it, man. They planned to go in that church. Don Lemon's outside like this. Yeah, we're about to go inside, and we're going to go and, you know, exercise. So he's doing all of that. So they thought they were in a place that they can just go and worship safely, right? So then, yeah, you can have reasonable expectations that would be a safe place for you to worship. Not that the preacher won't tell you something that's going to piss you off, because that's possible too. You know, because you're a sinner. You know what I'm saying? He could tell you that, you know, you tell your son you shouldn't drink, and there you go drinking a beer in the garage, you know. And you're sitting in the audience like, man, he talking to me, man. So, anyway, let's go back to this. For those of you who are like, I can't believe he just said that. Hey, Rudy, you're back. Oh, man. You're back, bro. You back. You came back while I'm there, what do you call it? Ranting. You came back while I was ranting, man. I'm trying to figure this out, Rudy. I'm trying to figure out if we can get into this thing here. And I would assume that we shouldn't be able to, because I think if we were able to, the water can seep out of this thing. So it's pretty much sealed off. If you can see, I think there's a little fan inside. And that's all it is, a little fan, a little spindle, that when when this turns, right? When that turns, it turns the thing on the inside, and it gets the water zipping, and I think that's as simple as this mechanism is. Okay, I just took the screw out. I was just trying, oh, hey, look at that. I got it out. You see? And it's the same thing on the inside of that thing. It's just a little fan on the inside of this thing. I really do want to open this, but I have a feeling it's sealed off in such a way that you're not supposed to be able to open this damn thing, and if you do, it's not good again. You just destroyed it. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, I think once this opens, it's done. But so if this was leaking, I would say it's gone, right? But this being the problem is less likely the issue. You see what I'm saying? Like this being the actual problem that you need to replace the pump, it's less likely the issue, unless it's jammed and it's unable to turn, right? So far, everything seemed to seal off. So, you know, like I don't see goo and gunk and glue getting inside this thing to stop him from spinning. You know, so, you know, the only thing I could think of maybe is like soap scum, maybe. Um, Maybe soap scum, maybe if you put too much soapy stuff in here, maybe in your let's say you put, like, someone was talking the other day in the comment about using, we were talking about OxyClean stuff, and he says if you use hot water with the OxyClean, you can now add it to your shampooer. And I said, well, I would be okay with OxyClean being used on a Hoover, or the Bissels, the simple Bissels that use gravity to just let the water go down. But I think anything that has a pump, you shouldn't use that soapy stuff. You shouldn't use the stuff that when it hardens again is going to get clumpy. I think that's how this gets destroyed. And not even destroyed, but get the gunk, the gooey gunk kind of stuck, and maybe that can stuck the propeller, because there's no moving. The only moving part is that propeller on the inside of this thing. Okay, and that should be that. So in other words, this shouldn't be, you know what I mean? This shouldn't be damaged like that on a regular. You know, okay, so to think that your pump is what you absolutely need to replace, it may not be the pump. That's all I'm saying. It may not be the pump, okay? All right? Does that make any sense? Does that make any sense, anybody? It may not be the pump, all right? And if you notice, it just goes right back in to this little triangle setup right here. And just make sure that if I put this in, that the half moon is on the right side. Okay? Hold on. Right here like this. Let's make sure, yep. Okay? And if you want, you could probably do this, you know. Let me show you something. Let me show you what you can test. All right, to see if it's working. Okay, watch this. This is what I'm thinking about. Tell me if this makes sense to you. If you want to see if your pump is doing what it's supposed to do, all this is supposed to do, guys, is spin the propeller on the inside. When the water will go in, and it's moving the water. Okay, that's what this is doing. It's moving the water, right? So. Give me a second. All right, let me do the last one. So what you can do if you're curious about this pump, okay, you could probably do this. I gotta make sure I give this person this link so they can see what I'm doing here for them. Okay, let me take this off. Okay. Well, we could probably do this and see. Now, I can't see it, guys. Well, how's this? Let me do it for myself. Okay, good. Now, I'm going to put this up to the camera, and I'm going to turn this. And the job of this, if you notice what I said before, this job, the belt turns this. Okay? The belt turns this. And this turns the propeller. So, if it's turning... Hold on. Okay, if it's turning, right? Let me see if you can see it. Can you see it? Can you see it? Is it turning? Hey, Rudy, you like watching me fix vacuum? What was it you never thought about, Brianne? Fill me in on that one.